Try it. Do it. Try it. Do it. Try it. Do it. Listen to the sound of a new tomorrow. Take over my dreams. Walk into the feeling. Listen to the sound of a broken heart, calling for a sign of a love. Here we are. Try it. Do it. Try me on. Do it. Try me on. Do it.
Oh boy, Johnny Longfeather is here, and that's all that matters. And he's all ready to go. Everybody, welcome back. Everybody knows this will be a quick show. We know what's on in about 1 hour, and I will have to change my shirt quickly so I can make it to the party. But of course, the party has already started, and that's why you're here. And everybody, for some reason, there's all these like college-age people going and hanging out, not hanging out bars, but like staying the night so they can get a chair at a bar. Someone explain that to me. It doesn't make any sense. I'm going to go to somebody's house and I'm going to watch it there in warm weather where I don't have to worry about getting in a bar fight or someone throwing up on me or any other excretion coming out of whatever hole. All right, so there's only two bills that I primarily want to talk about. One is HB 1176, and I was going to talk about this one until I saw that it has a recommit to Ways and Means. Why? Because just to give you a quick rundown, whenever there is a fiscal to it, as in there is going to be money that has to be spent, it will, when it's in the House, it'll go to Ways and Means. When it is in the Senate, it goes to appropriations. Now, this is the most important part because this year is a non-budget year. Indiana's budgets are, I forgot, biennium. And so last year they did the budget for this year as well. So they really can't do anything that's going to spend a crazy amount of money until next year. And I know some of you are saying, but we have $5 million in surplus. Well, I'm here to play spoiler alert right now is that money is reserves. And I know what you're also saying, oh, but we get taxed too much. Yes, I do agree. However, part of that is for keep the AAA rating along with other things. I'm not trying to defend it. I'm just explaining it and why it is there. Hey, I don't like it either. But what are you guys going to do about it? Vote better people in. What can I say? Vote in based people. That's all I can tell you. All right. So, Drew in the chat, Johnny Longfeather in the chat. Let's go. So, this bill I saw from Ireland or from somebody else. Possibly, who's that guy named? Angeline? Whatever it is. So, this. Now, some people are going to say, oh, this is another help for the charter school bill. And I'm here to say sort of, because what this bill will primarily do is make more school choice. Yes, it will be a help of the charter school, but it'll also make it easier to turn public schools into charter schools. I know what you're saying for charter schools. It's fine. I'm just trying to explain to you what's going on here right now. Private schools will get more access. Scholarship programs are no longer just for lower income families. More kids use tax credited scholarships to attend private schools. That means middle and higher. And I know what you're going to say. Oh, that means the millionaires will be able to get to it. Here's how I kind of look at it. I'm already paying for public education. If I have to send my kid, I would rather have my kid not have to pay extra money to send my kid to a charter or a private school. That's already my money that I'm paying in. And I know there are a lot of the red shirts out there that are saying, oh, that takes away money from schools. The only way that a lot of these schools get money is if the kid is there. That's it. Why do you think you had that charter school not long ago flub the numbers so they can get a whole bunch of money in there? And yes, everything is corrupt because people suck. Also, and parents get a heads up on math struggles, so schools must notify parents if a kid is falling behind in math. Unused education money, account money used to go back to the state's general fund. Now it stays in the program to fund more students. This I did not know. So if the school has extra money, it automatically goes into the state general fund. That's why you kind of like use it or lose it, I guess. I did not know that that was an actual thing. So instead, it'll stay in the program. Education choice money stays locked into school choice. And that's about, I mean, those are kind of the high notes to it. And the reason, it's probably DOA because there's a fiscal on it. Not only do we have a short session, but also there's not going to be a money appropriated for it. We'll see what happens next year. Maybe something happens. All right, but I know the whole reason why you guys are here, and as you can see, it's a very long bill. But the whole reason why you guys are here right now is because of the hemp bill. All right, I'm going to spend the next, why do we pay for 200,000 a year income? Yes, I completely agree, Johnny Longfeather. I agree. To a Catholic school, they're already paying for it. Yes, I agree. Everything sucks. And, but, hey, you know what? What's anybody going to do about it? You're going to be like that crazy guy that set himself on fire in front of Trump Tower? I don't think so. I get all the above arguments for it. I'm not here to disagree with all of you. All right, so this farm bill loophole. Now, I am not one to partake on the wacky tobacco, the what's all this other ones that you have? I don't know. The electric lettuce, all of it. I'm a pretty normal vanilla guy. I do not need any of that stuff. But I will tell you what. I did try CBD one time. All it did was give me a body high, but I can do the same thing if I'm in a very hot tub. So with that being said, I understand there are benefits to it and also the negatives to it. I'm not here to argue either of them. I am here to tell you what the bill is all about. Both of my kids use the program. What is the school scooter program? I'd never heard of that. I walked to school. I was not allowed to either took the bus or I walked to school. Or when I was old enough, I drove to school. All right, so the 2018 Farm Bill did have... okay, let me just break this down real quick. There was a well-intentioned bill that got, I wouldn't say abused or weaponized, but it was definitely taken advantage of. And here's the core of the loophole. The Farm Bill legalized hemp by defining it as a cannabis containing no more than 0.3% Delta-9 THC by dry weight. That is the most important part. So how did the companies exploit it? They extracted CBD from legal hemp, chemically converted it into Delta 8, Delta 10, THCO, blah, blah, blah. Then they sold gummies, vapes, drinks, and edibles that are psychoactive but still technically hemp, because a gummy can have several milligrams of THC and still be under the 0.3% weight. This is the most important part. They flubbed it because they did it by weight, not by milligrams. Oh, school choice voucher. Oh, okay. Interesting. Yeah. Well, I never went to a charter school. I went to a public school. I went to a public school before it turned all lame. Public schools used to not be that bad. At least, and I didn't go to, well, the last 4 years of school, I did not go to school in the ghetto. So anyway, so what was the result of this? There was no real regulation because it was supposed to be, hey, you know, what Blake Dorio basically said, hey, I have this kid who can't speak. The CBD helps him speak, helps a lot of people help with insert here. I don't have any of those, so I can't relate. Not yet, I'm sure. So, but what was their end up result? You go to a lot of these gas stations. You go to the ones on Washington, too. And what do you see? Nothing but gas station weed, all these crazy vapes, all this THC-infused drinks, basically no FDA oversight, no consistent testing or labeling, and kids and pets exposed to the high dose of THC products. If there was a hierarchy of importance, it would be, hey, you know what? There's a lot of kids getting, I forgot the actual word for it, toxicity. Northwest Indiana, baby. Region rad, son. Unless I was in Illinois. I've lived in Illinois for a lot of my life. A true Chicagoan, by the way. Not what those fake pundits have to say and pretend that they're from Chicago. You're talking to a true Chicagoan. Including with the does. So anyway, the bottom line, the Farm Bill was meant to legalize industrial hemp, not create an unregulated, intoxic market. Because what's happening is it's all of these high milligram THC insert here, gummies, vapes, THC drinks, whatever. Now, what's been going on the last couple of years, and what they're explaining in this committee meeting, which I'm sure it will explode once it goes back into committee or when it's on the Senate floor. That's where all the real fireworks is going to be, on second reading on the Senate floor. I'm sure it'll be Greg Taylor and Rodney Pohl and whoever. I doubt maybe JD Ford because he's running for Congress. So so let me compare it to you. I was like, I am not a guy who does THC or CBD or the electric lettuce, any of that. Tell me like I am a child. So let me explain it to you as in cookies. So cookies are allowed as long as they have almost no sugar. So what people did is that, fine, we'll use almost no sugar, but we'll stuff the cookies with lots of candy instead. The cookie still follows the rules, but it still makes you super hyper. That's the Farm Bill in a nutshell. The hemp is legal if it is almost no Delta 9 THC. The 0.3 is what we were talking about, but it only talked about one type of THC. Didn't talk about other THC types. Didn't limit how strong the product could be. So companies took legal hemp, turned it into other kinds of THC, put a lot into the gummies and vapes, and sold it legally. And that's the problem, what you're seeing in a lot of these gas station drinks, insert everything else here too, is that it's like you got some of these drinks that are like 100 milligrams, 10 milligrams, but the problem is none of it's regulated in Indiana because there's no true definition of it. And so that's where CBD 250 really lands up. So what 250 really does is four things. It updates the definition of hemp. It closes the Farm Bill loophole by banning hemp products under 21, which I think they already do that. And I don't know if they even do that. Hey, Drew, maybe you can help me out with this. Are you not allowed to buy any of the products if you're under 21? Because the bill is specifically saying that it has to be under 21. Also, there's a statutory phrase, and they cleaned it up. I guess him and Eric Koch cleaned it up, where basically it was, hey, if you're going to limit this thing for this age, that means the other thing is okay. So they're basically putting it under the tobacco and alcohol framework of like, if you're 21, you're not allowed to buy alcohol. Same thing with whatever is going to be under here, hemp, THC, yada yada yada. And so that also, Drew, I'm sure you're gonna like this part. If the Fed so there's all this talk about reclassifying marijuana, the marijuana. If the Fed reclassifies marijuana, this bill says it would not follow that, and it would allow the IGA, all 150 legislators, to decide what if they are going to reclassify the marijuana or not. I thought that was very interesting. The other parts is what the guy from IPAC, Christopher Daniels, I think, he was saying that we got a lot of these OWIs that he didn't say blood specifically. This bill also, where is it? It also has to do with OWIs. I had what's with me, but it is in there. Hold on, let me see. Driving under provisions. That's bill. Okay, so bill adds federal definitions of certain hemp to the Indiana Criminal Code. So this is the other problem too, is that there's no true definition of what hemp is and what cannabis is. So in this bill, it actually defines it. And there's also some literature of like who's going to get the licensing and who's going to get what. It's going to be under the Alcohol and Tobacco Commission. That's how they're going to regulate all of this stuff. I'm sure you guys are very excited about that. Where's the influence part? Oh, here it is. The bill provides that for purposes of Indiana motor vehicle, intoxicated includes being under the influence of THC and Schedule I drug, including the marijuana, hemp, and THC. Hey, look, I didn't even know what THC standed for. Now I do. Oh, boy, yeah. So, what does that all mean for this bill and the future of it? Well, obviously, there was some guy from the Hemp Council. I think he represents the Hemp Council, and him and Hunley were going at kind of like not playing mental gymnastics. Hunley thought it was happening, and she made these arguments. It's like, oh, I'm sorry, isn't this commerce and technology? Why are we like stopping commerce? That was her argument about 250, which was a really piss poor argument. It's like commerce is also about regulating commerce, not stopping it, or maybe you should stop it on certain things, right? Like you don't want to be transporting humans, right? Transporting humans. There we go. Transporting humans or babies or dead fetuses, right? Or dead animals, or insert blank. There's a lot of things that maybe there shouldn't be commerce for, like human trafficking. I don't know. Epstein stuff. I don't know. Is that such a bad thing after all? All right. And like I said, Hunley had a really bad argument for that, and good luck if she ever wants to run for here. All right. So, moving on, though, I did want to bring up one more video before we get out of here. There were like two things. I'm sure you guys saw the two videos that we had posted earlier. I want to just briefly bring up this video from this guy because it is kind of funny, to be honest. Because their Indiana Capitol Chronicle had a good article, but I think this bill is so complicated unless you do the wacky tobacco and understand like the science behind the THC and the CBD. Like, dude, I feel like last year where I had to learn about nuclear technology. That's kind of where I'm at right now. Now maybe, you know what? I'm going to have to talk to my one of the president of WART, Drew, about the science behind THC and CBD. If there's one guy that I know that would be an absolute professor about it, it would be Drew. So I will have to ask him about that. Real quick.
What's your district committee
seeks to do? In the 2018 Farm Bill, the term hemp was nothing more than a legal definition. It was saying that if certain varieties of the cannabis sativa L plant meet these certain parameters, it gets excluded from the Controlled Substances Act. It gets an exemption. And that was strictly a legal definition. It is the same plant. The compounds extracted from it are the same compounds that are in a dispensary in whatever state where you would go and buy legal marijuana. Hemp or craft hemp flower extract product or whatever we want to call it are all cute terms for marijuana. It is the same product.
All right, did you hear that? That's very funny, Johnny Longfeather. I actually had to look up what that meant.
That are in a dispensary in whatever state where you would go and buy legal marijuana. Hemp or craft hemp flower extract product or whatever we want to call it are all cute terms for marijuana. It is the same product. Now, at the same time, these hemp products are not the same products. They do not have the same regulatory scrutiny that exists in regulated cannabis markets. States that have legal cannabis programs like California or Colorado or Illinois or Ohio or wherever have a strict code of regulatory requirements that they operate under that was defined by the Cole Memo in the mid-2010s that sets out the rules by which the Department of Justice at the federal level would not do enforcement on cannabis policy if a state met these rules. Most of the attempts that we've seen try to go through the Indiana General Assembly in recent years have totally short-circuited those. They've been regulation in name only. They have not been consistent in being in line with what regulated cannabis looks like.
All right, so he just goes on and on and on. So basically what they're saying is that it's going to be regulated in a way where it's going to be like 0.3. Hold on, make sure I get it right. I think it was like 0.3. It was actually defining what hemp was and then what cannabinoid was. I forgot what the actual number was. I have it somewhere. Doesn't really matter because unless you guys do this stuff regularly, I thought it was like 0.3 milligrams. Let's see what he has
So
to say.
really, or change a legal cannabis marketplace. Full transparency, my client here is the regulated cannabis industry.
Territory, state.
If you
But we'll work together.
For people to use stuff.
But
I love that no one loves the current environment, but nobody wants to change the current environment. I love it. And by the way, if anybody in this room wants to pull out $100 bills and wager with me on what Congress is going to do, I got more money than you do. I guarantee you to bet that.
That's a
right?
bad
Because I'm
joke,
not going
by
to
the
wager
way.
anything
Bad
about
joke.
what those fine people will do, won't do. So, look, nobody intended this thing to go where it went in 2018. I mean, look, good people can disagree on whatever. We've gotten way out of our lane and we need to bring it back. This bill does that in a very reasonable way. Would ask for your support.
Okay, so he didn't bring it up. I forgot the actual number. It doesn't really matter, though. So they were also, it was really funny because at the beginning, Freeman was talking about, I was like, hey, I got a doctor, and you can see of like how many of these kids are using these vapes, and like compare it from one 18-year-old that uses this stuff all the time, and then another kid who doesn't use this stuff all the time. And he said, like, there's an actual gray zone in there. And, you know, there's all these studies coming out. I'm not here to argue about the studies. I'm just here to give you the information about, like, psychosis. Because what they were bringing up is, like, this isn't the weed that you used to smoke back in the 80s or even 90s. You know, this is a completely different level and way more harsh. So, like I said, I don't smoke any of it, so I wouldn't know. But yeah, so expect this bill to get pretty popular. I'm kind of giving you the heads up right now. There's going to be a lot of talk about this bill. I think they're trying to make sure that it gets passed this year because of the federal bill that will be passing in November. And they're trying to make sure there's no fiscal to it. So we'll see. Make sure that it hasn't been. Okay, so it has been recommitted to appropriations. It might be killed, or it's going to be in a rush. I imagine that it's going to be a priority to get this thing done because what is it, the 29th, I think? Isn't it 29th? Yeah, so in about a week and some change, a week and 3 days, the final day of third reading will be happening, and then after that, everything gets changed over from House to Senate, Senate to House. And then you basically have a month until the end of session because they're wanting to get it done before March. Pretty much last days of February, and then they want to get out of there. All right, so what's happening tomorrow? It is a very busy day tomorrow. And what time does it start off at? 7:30 over in Tax and Fiscal. And that means I have to, oh, wait a minute, I want to make sure. Yeah, 7:30 right there. 15 bills to start off the morning in Tax and Fiscal. It's a lot of bills overall. I talked about it last week. Anyway, so going to be a long day tomorrow, boys and girls. Just get ready for it because it's going to get wild. What do we got over here? the carbon card. Make sure if there's any other bills that I want to pay attention. Regulation of firearms and shooting ranges. Huh? Boy, that looks interesting. And a grooming bill. Wow. The firing squad bill is going to be heard. Hopefully will be heard tomorrow. Yeah, I hope so. Nothing going on. Right. Intelligent speed. Oh, what is this all about? Hold on. Technology to limit the speed of a motor vehicle and the speed. Oh, this is a speed limiter for what? To limit the speed of a motor vehicle to not more than a speed limit of area being traveled. Allows the court to require a person who has been convicted of a crime for which well, how would you even do this? Yeah, that's not. Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to be watching this because I'm a car guy and I know how this stuff works. I will be watching that bill. Counteraction against unmanned aircraft system. Dude, we got a drone bill. That's awesome. Get to destroy them. Housing matters. This bill is going to suck. Non-profit hospitals, nothing good there. Riverboat gaming, not. That's back. Regulation. Investments. International money wiring fee, huh? Wow. So that'll go. And nothing in there. Work-based liability. What is it? Coverage for certain. Okay. Fresh prior. That's probably going to be a fiscal. Look with it. Okay, so that's it. So I'm going to be paying attention to the speed limiter bill. What time does that start at? It doesn't even say. Oh, upon adjournment in veterans room. Okay. Veterans at 9 o'clock. Okay, so it'll be later in the day. Also, Senate and House will be meeting tomorrow. I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of goodies in there. What are they gonna be talking about? I'm gonna check real quick. It starts at 1:30. That's gonna be. Look at all those bills they get to talk about, boys and girls. Look at all those bills on second and third. Wow, it's gonna be a long day. A very long day. Fuck. Oh, straight ticket voting is on there. There we go. Canning belts. Where's 1313? 13, 12, and 13. Did they kill 1313? Am I thinking right? Hold on. I think it was 1313, right? No, I'm thinking the wrong one. Voting. I don't know. I'm sure I'll think of it though. Anyway, all right, that's it. Go enjoy the IU game. Don't do anything I wouldn't do or do it. I don't care. You guys are all adults. With that being said, you guys have a great night. Stay safe.